Are you sick and tired of your athlete's foot? If so, this is the video you've been looking for. I'm going to give you some principles about athlete's foot in this video that is going to help you fix your athlete's foot and keep it fixed forever. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical practice, and this video is going to fix your athlete's foot forever. You may already know that your athlete's foot is being caused by a fungus or a group of fungi. There's several different ones that we know about in medicine that can lead to athlete's foot or tinea pedis. And you're given a lot of information about, oh, you should avoid this, you should do this. But there's a few problems with those tips or that advice that I'm going to help you understand. And once you understand kind of the foundational facts about this fungus that's causing your athlete's foot, what it likes, what it hates, and then also I'm going to help you understand about your body's terrain. Why is the skin of your foot susceptible to this fungus where your friend or your neighbor's foot is not susceptible? Once you understand all these foundational principles about athlete's foot, you can make your athlete's foot go away and never come back again. The first principle to understand is that the fungus that causes your athlete's foot is ubiquitous. And what I mean by that is that we all have fungus on our feet, between our toes, under our toenails, all the time. Every single human on the planet, if you tackled them to the ground, pulled off their sock and shoe, and swabbed their foot for this fungus, they would have it. So if everyone has the fungi that cause athlete's foot, then why do only some of us get athlete's foot? I would opine that it's because we're not adhering to the following principles that I'm going to tell you about the fungus causing your athlete's foot, and indeed all of the fungi. They have certain things they love and certain things they hate. And once you understand these principles, it's going to help you make your foot a much less hospitable place for that damned fungus. The key facts about this fungus that you have to understand in order to win the battle with athlete's foot is that this fungus loves an environment that is warm, moist, and dark. Now, think about it for a second. That is the actual environment inside of your shoe right now. It's very warm, it's very moist, and it's dark. That is what that fungus loves, and that's what you have to change in order to make your foot a no-go zone for this foot fungus. So the way that you're going to honor this principle is that you're going to keep your shoes off and your socks off. You're going to go barefoot as many hours of the day as you possibly can. Now, I realize at work or at your mother-in-law's house, you may have to keep your shoes on, but for the remainder of the day, as soon as you get home, you're going to take off your socks and shoes, and that is going to make your foot a cooler environment, a drier environment, and an environment filled with light. And so keeping your socks and shoes off for as many hours a day as possible is going to be a free but very powerful tactic to make your foot much less juicy looking for this fungus. The next principle is that all of the fungi, any fungus, hates sunlight. So you're going to make it a point to try to get at least 5 minutes of direct sunlight on your feet, which are not covered by socks and shoes, every single day. Even in the middle of winter, if it's a sunny day, go out and let the sun hit your feet and your toes, in between your toes, the bottom of your foot, for 5 minutes a day. This is going to decimate the number of this fungi living on your feet. Remember, it's on there already. You can't do anything about that. You can never make your feet fungus free. That's a myth. But what you can do is keep the total number of the fungi or the fungal load of the fungus. You can keep that very, very low. And then that's going to give your body a chance to successfully fight off the fungus and keep it from actually penetrating your skin where it starts to do the damage. Other tricks that are going to honor this principle is that you're going to wash your feet thoroughly at least once a day. Your mom will be proud of you for doing this, but the fungus will hate you for doing this. Also, take your old toothbrush, you know it's time for you to get a new one anyway, and throw it into the shower or the tub. And every time you take a shower or a bath, you're going to use this old toothbrush on your toenails and around your toenails and under your toenails, because the fungus can live there as well. You're going to wear fresh socks every single day. Again, this is another thing your mother will be proud of you for, and the fungus will hate you for. Wearing sandals or open toe shoes as opposed to closed toe shoes is also going to make the fungus very, very unhappy. Now let's talk about a key concept that's very important for combating athlete's foot, but doesn't often get talked about, and that is your diet. There is copious amounts of research showing that when you eat a diet that's high in sugar, high in carbohydrates, you actually hamper your innate immune system's ability to fight off fungus, viruses, and bacteria. Any kind of infectious invader, it's harder for you to fight it off if you're eating a high sugar diet and spiking your blood sugar, eating a high carbohydrate diet, which also breaks down into sugar and which spikes your blood sugar. This kind of temporarily cripples your immune system, and it's not as successful at fighting off the fungus as it would be otherwise. And this is probably why you keep getting recurrent bouts of athlete's foot when your friends are walking around in the same communal shower at the gym and they never get athlete's feet. This is why. And so you have to understand that your immune system is crippled when you eat too many sugars or too many carbohydrates and is not able to successfully fight this off. Especially if you're having recurrent bouts of athlete's foot, then you absolutely need to start lowering your carbohydrate intake each day in order to keep your blood sugar at a more normal level. And another thing I would strongly urge you to do is if you're having recurrent bouts of athlete's foot or tinea pedis, that's a red flag that you may be starting to develop early diabetes, pre-diabetes, or you may already have type 1 or type 2 diabetes and not even know it yet. Please go to the doctor and get a C-peptide and a hemoglobin A1C checked, so that if you are becoming pre-diabetic, not only can you fix that so you can fix your athlete's foot, but you can fix that so that you can prevent hundreds of other disastrous side effects and complications of being a diabetic. There are a couple of over-the-counter medications that work pretty darn well. There's good research showing that they will help clear up your athlete's foot quicker than not using them. So if you're just getting started on what I'm talking about here, I don't think it's any harm or foul at all to buy one of these over-the-counter antifungals and use them for the first few days until you get a handle on how to just keep the athlete's foot from coming back forever. There's Lamisil, which is the brand name for terbinafine, and there's Tinactin, which is the brand name for tolnaftate. And either of these will definitely decrease the fungal load or the just absolute number of the fungus living on your foot. And that will give your immune system a chance to start to get ahead as you're lowering your carbohydrate intake so that your immune system gets stronger. Then it can fight these fungi off and keep them from breaking the skin barrier. Because just because you have fungus on the outer surface of your foot or under your toenails, that doesn't mean you have athlete's foot. That actually means you're a normal human. Where athlete's foot comes in is when the fungus is actually able to break through the skin barriers and break past your immune system's defenses and start chewing on the raw meat. That's when you have athlete's foot and all the symptoms that go with it. So just remember the basic concepts that the fungus that causes your athlete's foot, it loves when your foot is very warm. It loves when your foot is very moist. It loves when your foot is encased in a dark environment. It loves when you don't change your socks every day. It loves when you don't wash your feet every day. And it also loves when you eat a high sugar, high carbohydrate diet. All of those things help the fungus flourish and really make your athlete's foot unbearable. But when you do the opposite of those things, your foot becomes a very nasty place to the fungus, and it will go back to just living on the surface of your foot and not trying to penetrate down into the skin and cause you symptoms. You may find a little bit of relief from using foot soaks filled with apple cider vinegar or alcohol or hydrogen peroxide. But just remember, these things are temporary relief measures. They don't really address the root cause of why you developed athlete's foot. So now it's time for you to get busy beating the crap out of the fungus that's causing your athlete's foot, getting rid of your athlete's foot, and never ever having it again. Please take a second and click that subscribe button and the little bell button right beside it so that every time I post a video, you'll get a notification. This is Dr. Barry. I'll see you next time.